Listen up, Ramily. We need to talk about something huge that's developing right now in Thousand Oaks. And trust me when I say, this is exactly the kind of situation that separates championship contenders from pretenders. And our boys are showing every single sign that they're ready to make this thing work at the highest level possible. Because what we're witnessing is two absolute legends figuring out how to dominate together. And yeah, there might be some growing pains, but that's exactly what makes this so exciting. Because when Matthew Stafford and Davante Adams finally hit their full stride together, this offense is going to be absolutely unstoppable. And I'm not being dramatic, I'm being realistic about what happens when you put a future Hall of Fame quarterback together with one of the most elite route runners this league has ever seen. So here's what's happening right now, and why every single Rams fan needs to be paying attention to this. Because it's not just about statistic or box scores. It's about the process and the mentality that both Staff and Ty are bringing to this situation every single day. Remember when we first got Adams and everyone was going absolutely crazy about those OTA highlights, where he was snatching everything out of the air like it was nothing, and Stafford was throwing absolute lasers that were connecting with surgical precision. That chemistry was real, and it's still there. But what we're seeing now is two competitors who refuse to settle for anything less than perfection. And that's exactly the attitude you want from your leader, because they're not making excuses. They're taking accountability and pushing each other to be better every single snap. Now let's break down what Stafford said, because this is crucial to understanding where this connection is headed and why we should all be incredibly optimistic about what's coming. Our quarterback one looked at those red zone opportunities and immediately took responsibility, saying he needs to give Adams better chances on some of those routes, and specifically mentioned that corner route in the end zone where Ty absolutely cooked his defender and made him look silly, but the ball wasn't where it needed to be. That's leadership right there, folks, because Stafford isn't pointing fingers. He's looking in the mirror and saying, I can be better. And when you have a quarterback with that kind of accountability, combined with his elite arm talent and football IQ, you know those adjustments are going to get made. And those connections are going to start hitting at a much higher rate moving forward. But here's what really gets me fired up about this whole situation, and why I genuinely believe we're about to see this partnership explode in the second half of the season and into the playoff. Adams came out and talked about how they both want to be more efficient and how there's been maybe a little bit of pressing lately because they know what they're capable of and they want to deliver for this team and for the Ramily. But then he dropped some wisdom that shows exactly why this guy is one of the smartest receivers in football history. Tay said they just need to go out and play and figure it out naturally without trying to force anything crazy, without feeling like they need to do something extraordinary to fix it, but just be themselves and make plays. Because at the end of the day, he's Davante Adams and Staff is Matthew Stafford. And when you have that level of talent and experience, you trust the process and let it develop organically. And this is where I want to pump the brakes on any panic or concern, because some people might look at the numbers and see that Puka Nacua has been getting more targets and wonder if the Adams acquisition is working out the way we hoped. But here's the reality check that everyone needs to understand. First of all, having multiple legitimate threats is exactly what makes an offense dangerous and keeps defenses guessing, because they can't just lock in on one guy and think they've got us figured out. Second, and this is absolutely critical, Adams was brought here specifically for those championship moments, for those clutch third downs, for those red zone situations where you absolutely, positively need a completion. And guess what? He's been delivering in those spots throughout this season when the lights are brightest and the stakes are highest. Staff and Tay have been connecting time and time again. The people around the facility are saying exactly what we need to hear right now, and this should have every single Rams fan feeling confident about where this team is headed. The organization is thrilled with both Stafford and Adams, not just for their on-field production, but for their dedication to the team's ultimate goals and their commitment to the process of building something special. These aren't guys who are satisfied with being good. They want to be great, and they want to bring another championship back to Los Angeles. And that hunger, that drive, that relentless pursuit of excellence, is exactly what this team needs from its veteran leaders, especially as we head into the most critical stretch of the season. Think about what we're really looking at here from a big picture perspective, because this is a situation where two elite players who have proven themselves at the highest levels throughout their entire careers are going through the natural adjustment period of building chemistry and establishing timing and rhythm, but they're doing it with the right mindset and the right approach. They're not panicking. They're not making excuses. They're staying locked in on the detail and working every single day to improve that connection. And when you combine that work ethic with their natural talent and football intelligence, it's only a matter of time before everything clicks at an even higher level. And this offense becomes absolutely lethal in every phase of the game. And let's be real about something else that makes this situation even more exciting for us as Rams fans. We've got a quarterback in Stafford who has already proven he can lead a team to a Super Bowl championship, who has that clutch gene, who makes throws that maybe only 3 or 4 other guys in this league can make. And now you pair him with a receiver in Adams, who has spent his entire career making impossible catches look routine, who knows how to create separation against any coverage, who has hands that are basically magnet, and who brings that same championship pedigree and winning mentality. When these two guys are on the same page and hitting on all cylinders, there's literally no defense in this league that can consistently stop them. And that's not Homer talk. That's just factual analysis based on their track records and skill sets. The timing of this couldn't be better either, because we're entering that part of the season where every game matters more and more, where playoff positioning is on the line, where teams either step up or fall back, and having Stafford and Adams working through these details now means they're going to be firing on all cylinders when it matters most. They're getting those reps, they're building that trust, they're learning each other's tendencies and preferences, and by the time we hit the home stretch, and hopefully deep into January and February, this connection is going to be one of the most dangerous weapons in the entire NFL, and defenses are going to have nightmares trying to figure out how to stop it, especially when you factor in all the other weapons we have on this offense. What really stands out about both of these guys is their humility and their willingness to be self-critical, because that's actually a sign of greatness, not weakness. Lesser players would make excuses about timing or practice reps or the playbook or whatever, but Staff and Tay are looking at the film saying, okay, here's where we can be better. Here's what we need to adjust. Here's how we can maximize this partnership. And then they're going out and putting in the work to make it happen. That kind of accountability, that kind of dedication to excellence, that kind of commitment to continuous improvement is exactly what builds championship teams. And it's exactly what we're seeing from these two leaders right now. So while some people might be looking at this situation and seeing problems or concerns, I'm looking at it and seeing opportunity and potential, because we're watching two future Hall of Famers figure out how to dominate together. And they're doing it with the right mindset, the right approach, and the right support system around them. The Rams organization believes in them. The coaching staff believes in them. Their teammates believe in them. And most importantly, they believe in each other and in this process. And that's ultimately what's going to make this work at the highest possible level. The bottom line here, Ramily, is that we need to stay patient, stay confident, and keep believing in what these guys are building. Because when Stafford and Adams hit their full stride together, this offense is going to be absolutely unstoppable. And this team is going to be making some serious noise in the playoff. They're putting in the work, they're taking accountability, they're staying focused on the details, and they're committed to bringing championship football back to Los Angeles. And that's what should have every single one of us fired up about what's coming in the weeks and months ahead. This is our time, this is our squad, and these are our guys leading the charge. So let's rally behind them, let's trust the process, and let's get ready to watch something special unfold, because it's coming, and it's coming soon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel right now so you don't miss any updates on the Rams championship push. Smash that like button if you believe in the Stafford-Adams connection, and drop a comment answering this question. Do you think Stafford and Adams will have their breakout game in the red zone this week? Or will it take another week or two for everything to click? Let me know. Option A for this week, or option B for another week or two.